And as we officially open service for this last Sunday of November, it is my pleasure and my privilege to say happy end of Thanksgiving week, beautiful people. I am Vicky Jeter, your practitioner spiritual director for Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter. And as we come into wrapping up Thanksgiving week, I hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving day fitting to you and your family. And I will be most interested to hear during sharing time how it has been for you working with the gratitude process and taking it to how we actually feel along the way. If you were here with us last week, you know that we had practitioner Tammy Evans give us our closing treatment after the message. And now I am delighted to officially announce that Tammy has joined our community, and I'm anticipating she'll be here today. I had suggested to her that I might not announce this if I didn't see her on screen, but we'll be able to talk with her in sharing time if she is able to get here. And if not, the next time you catch her, just know that she's official, and it is a fabulous thing, a great gift to us. And so today, we're going to use our perceptions of the mundane and the profane to take the relationship between gratitude and forgiveness deeper in actual practice and application. Any area of your life where you would prefer the experience of more love, serenity, freedom, abundance, joy, etc., in your own words, could benefit from what we're going to be talking about and doing today. So, that being said, let's take a moment to set our intentions. What is your inspiration for being here now? What portion of your masterpiece are you painting today? Our shared intention for this service is to reveal together the spiritual dynamics of how forgiveness and gratitude propel us into spiritual growth that can align our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs with the divine and transform the quality of our human experiences as sacred. So, our intentions being set, let's begin with opening prayer. And we begin in gratitude for all that is. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit, for the gift of this day, for the gift of this gratitude week, for the gift of this phenomenal, miraculous opportunity to have this experience of being a spiritual being in a human experience. Oh my goodness. And from this place of recognizing the presence of Spirit right here, right now, as we are one in the same room in spirit, mind, heart, and soul, I am grateful for knowing that the gifts given and received are in divine right order, and that the glory of God is fulfilled in love. And I bless the courage that we have to take this adventure together, where it might not be something we would be as ready or able to do alone. And so it is with the heart of a child that I release it, I let it be, and so it is. And so we do welcome each and every one of you with our whole hearts to Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter. We welcome all reflections of spirit, whether you're with us here this morning or watching us later on YouTube. Thank you for your presence today. And we open with our song, I Am Peace by Kai Lee.
You're still unmuted and
So Vernon is advising me that we're having just a little technical delay. We did do our practice run this morning, so there we go.
I am peace, I am joy, I am love. I am peace, I am joy, I am love. I am in harmony with everything, it's a part of me. I am peace, I am joy, I am love. You are peace, you are joy, you are love. You are peace, you are joy, you are love. You are in harmony with everything. God is all you see. You are peace, you are joy, you are love. We are peace, we are joy, we are love. We are peace, we are joy, we are love. We are in harmony with everything. God is all we see. We are peace, we are joy, we are love. We are peace, we are joy, we are love.
And this, of course, brings us to our mission and vision. Say with me if you choose. The mission of Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter is to teach personal transformation as a virtual community, living the principles of science of mind and celebrating all paths to God, which demonstrates in our vision of a world that honors and respects all people. As we know, spiritual living is only as good as it can actually be applied in daily living. So each week we have an application of what we believe. These are thoughts to practice or bring into discussion with friends and family or during sharing time. The more we use it, the more we understand and can feel how it works. And so this week, the application of what we believe is, remember, when you forgive, you heal. When you let go, you grow. And this opens up the field for forever thankful, always grateful, and abundantly blessed. For our sacred reading and meditation, it is my pleasure that our practitioner of the week is Miss Tammy Ellis, who, if you notice, we have all three Tammys in the room. So we have Tammy 1, Tammy 2, and Tammy 3, and Tammy Ellis is Tammy 2.
That is awesome. I was telling some of y'all that in my life, I used to, in 6th grade, I lived on a block and there was 3 Tammys. So I am just delighted that we have 3 Tammys now. Wow, what a synchronicity pack there. So welcome, Tammy Evans, to our prac team and to the center. And well, this morning we have a wonderful power combo pack for Thanksgiving and forgiveness for the reading and the meditation as well. The reading comes from a book that's a wonderful combo pack of different writers, different people who have writings in it. And I found a beautiful reading entitled Grace, Gratitude, and the Sacred Experiences by Jean Shinoda Bolin, MD. If you're not aware of her, I wasn't so aware of her, I Googled her, and she is a workshop leader, writer, and so forth. My deep sense of spiritual meaning has to do with remembering as much as it has to do with discovering. I move through my day-to-day life with a sense of appreciation and gratitude. that comes from knowing how fortunate I truly am and how unearned all that I am thankful for really is. To have this perspective in my everyday consciousness is in itself a gift, for it leads to feeling graced or blessed each time. For example, my workday commute takes me through a tunnel toward the Golden Gate Bridge. Sometimes I emerge to see a panoramic view of bay and bridges and city. Or perhaps I see only the tops of the bridge towers emerging through the thick fog. I am struck by how beautiful each sight is. Every time I see beauty around me, I appreciate what I am seeing, and I simultaneously have this sense of appreciation for being alive at this particular moment. And now, as we take that in, let's take a nice deep breath and release as we prepare for this beautiful meditation. And so this morning, we're going to utilize the inner healing experience. And this is an invitation to each of us to let go and release anything blocking or keeping us from having a fuller, heartfelt, grateful experience. Universal love enfolds me. Universal wisdom inspires me. Universal spirit enlightens me. Universal power encircles me. I am one, and all is well. As we begin the inner healing process, let me invite you to close your eyes and relax in quiet confidence, opening yourself to the miracle working higher power. Now symbolize the unity of your thinking and feeling nature by touching your chest with one of your hands. And let my words act as your own for your own inner acceptance and receptivity. I acknowledge that there is a power, intelligence, and wisdom greater than my own. I am in the midst of it, and it is in the midst of me, sensitive and responsive to my every thought, word, action, and feeling. I now make this true for myself by saying aloud or within myself, silently to myself, I acknowledge. Please take a nice deep breath in, and you can let your hand relax if you so choose. Acknowledging the higher power working through my life, I admit that I am personally responsible for solving my own problems while being guided and assisted by something greater than myself. As I am ready to surrender the conflicts of my ego to the wisdom of the infinite presence, I simply speak these words within myself. I surrender. Please take a nice deep breath in and let go. Knowing that forgiveness is the key to unconditional love and the kingdom of heaven, I now unconditionally forgive anyone and everyone who has ever injured me in any way, real or imagined. And I now forgive myself for my mistaken judgments and their resulting actions. For my deepest level of understanding, now I say within myself, I forgive. Please take a nice deep breath and breathe out. Realizing that I continually experience the effects of my own thinking, I now choose to allow this higher power to recreate me deeply, filling my mind with thoughts that are only constructive, positive, loving, and beautiful. I call upon this divine inflow by stating aloud or within myself, I choose. Let's take another nice deep breath in and breathe out. I now center upon that one special idea that I am willing to accept as real for me in this coming week. Visualizing the idea as already acted upon and brought to pass. And seeing my idea become a fact of my experience, I enjoy the happiness and peace of my thought fulfilled, and gratefully speak these words, I accept. Breathe in and out. Knowing that I have an everlasting place in the midst of the power that sustains all creation, as well as the support of all those around me. I allow myself to relax in the peace of fulfillment and gratitude. And I say within myself, I release. And taking another nice deep breath in and release. Now I call to mind the face of someone who has touched my life in powerful and wonderful ways. A friend or family member or teacher of mine, someone who is not physically present here today. And I turn toward that face in my mind's eye, and I say to them, I am grateful for the good in your life. And now I open my eyes to the world around me, and I turn joyfully to the people in the same room with me or same house or place that I am now, and to these beautiful faces in the Zoom boxes. And sharing my gratitude and confidence, I say, I am grateful for the good in your life. And so it is. And now we have this beautiful song by Michael Gott, We All Need a Prayer.
We're all in this life together, living a mystery. Our days are touched by joy, touched by pain, asking why, longing for meaning, searching for hope, searching for who I've come here to be. We all need a prayer. Our hearts are yearning for the truth. When we feel alone, when we can't find our way, the answers are right here. We stand before an open door. We all need a prayer to remind us who we are. Somehow we keep forgetting, lost in the shadows, holding broken hearts, broken dreams. Love is
before an open door. We all need a prayer to remind us who we are. Open now and feel your heart. The power is in you. The answers are all here. You stand before an open door. We all need a prayer to remind us who we are. Who we
My, oh my, oh my. In this moment, I'm just moved to really thank Pat Ferguson, who found that Spirit delivered that song through her, I believe, in answer to a prayer. And so just taking a moment to enjoy. The answers are right here. We stand before an open door. We all need a prayer to remind us who we are. In essence, from the source, who we are is spirit emerging. And spirit is light, life, love, peace, power, beauty, and joy. These divine qualities are what we are. Today, we're going to work more specifically with the blocks to that experience and how to remove those blocks, how to clear them away. And so let's start with one way to look at how the blocks to experiencing more of our divine nature in human terms develop. So Vernon, next slide. So those of you who have been here are getting used to this. This is the image representing each of us as the prism through which universal source spirit expresses. The prism is ideally clear, such as the prism you see there. The light source represents spirit, and it moves through us and comes out as the unique and multiplicitous expressions that we experience in our lives. When we're feeling clear, it's easy and can be really fun to declare that we know. We want to be grateful for everything. Likewise, as you heard last Sunday, we want to be willing to forgive everything. How wonderful it would be to wipe clean the balance sheet we tend to keep as a scorecard on ourselves. I wish I wouldn't have done that. I did that, and then they did that. And it just goes on and on from there sometimes. In reality, our human clarity about being vessels of divine light gets plunged into doubt and clouded by our life experiences on a regular basis. Potentially, we have reactions of fear, anger, and grief every day. For example, I imagine each and every one of you do your very best to start the day acknowledging and remembering deeply that you are both the givers and receivers of divine love, right? Nothing can keep you from your source. We all know this, right? Tammy and Tammy 2 and Tammy 3 and Maruk and Pam and Reverend Carolyn. We all know we're divine light, not a problem, right? And then within the first few hours of the morning, if we've heard the latest news about the wars going on or had a phone conversation about some colorful life detail, undoubtedly feelings and reactions will have at least gotten caught up in human conditions, if not actually taken over our day unwittingly. We worry about our friends and family, perhaps, or we might be struggling to figure out how we're going to afford something. We might be feeling fear and sadness because of something unexpected that just suddenly happened and changed somebody's whole world. And we're asking, how and why did that happen? Unexpected changes almost always involve loss, even if it's a good thing. Changes tend to involve feelings of loss. It brings up great sadness and lots of unknowns. So, just as a little sidebar here, in recent months, we've touched in on how grief can be something that we actually need to practice on a regular basis, almost if we don't know for sure about anything we're particularly sad about, that developing, taking in the opportunity to work with grief on a regular basis becomes like a spiritual practice. It's a dedication to emotional health and vitality for ourselves and in our relationships. So, in case you haven't already guessed, the deal is that the same is true with Thanksgiving and forgiveness. It's an ongoing process as intended in the overall creative spectrum of life. When we don't take time to be aware of, feel, and express our emotional responses, they literally get built up like sludge in a car engine. They cloud our individual expressions of the light of spirit that we actually are. So next slide, please, Brennan. So this may be familiar to many of you. This is the work of Masaru Emoto, who did the research on the effect of various emotional fields on water molecules. And of course, remembering that human beings are like, 87% water. These images of the water molecules exposed to various emotional atmospheres here, working from the top down, left to right, because it might be kind of hard to see on the screen. The first one is eternal, peace, love and gratitude, quote unquote, you disgust me, evil, and thank you. So, in addition to the challenging images of you disgust me and evil being not light, notice that these forms are disorganized. One insight that came to me as I was working with this: what if the times when I'm feeling disorganized, which does seem to move through my life in like waves, sometimes I'm on top of it and I'm humming along and I'm feeling really, clicking and in harmony. And sometimes I step into my day and it's like, what happened? I can't find things and I can't seem to get any one thing done before something else is in my face. Totally disorganized. Is it an indication that I'm caught up in emotional sludge? What if it's a yellow flag from my soul pointing to the need to grieve or recognize something to be forgiven? When I was between marriages, and a part of me was absolutely terrified that I would never date, much less marry again, my home was a perpetual wreck. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get a handle on it. One day, a true friend said to me, I think you're so angry you can't keep your house clean. I had so much anger I did not know how to deal with, that it was leaking out all over my house. I was totally amazed how my acceptance of this simple statement, this simple awareness, allowed me to realign, clear up my anger and confusion, and that the piles that represented all of that evaporated as I gave myself room to cry and room to really experience what I'd been through that I hadn't made time to grieve for or acknowledge. It took a while, but one day, all that built up anger and resentment and sadness was done, and my house was effortlessly restored to being cared for as a home. So there is a universal key here to why and how this understanding is important to our whole world. Everyone and everything in creation emerges from spirit. Everything is literally made of light, life, love, peace, power, beauty, and joy. When we perceive it expressed in form as something other than that, war, gun violence, food deserts and poverty, greed, etc., 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 enter in your own things that you're challenged by. We're looking at piles and layers of emotional sludge. These are huge problems and they must be addressed. But it is not what people or anything in creation actually is. In that regard, there is no evil and there is no pestilence that's the form of what it is. None of that. Our conditions and what we go through do not define us. We are defined by the universal qualities of light, life, love, peace, power, beauty, joy, and there are, in my experience, a few others in there that can be uniquely named. The key is, are they universal and generally cannot be defined? They cannot be put into a box. That is what we are. So when Vernon and I were first dating in 1994-95, we served together on an inner child workshop team. And each workshop lasted a whole weekend, so we had lots of time to stretch out and really work with this stuff. And one of the processes that opened the workshop was an encouragement to participants to dive in and share, as one large mirror represented the internal prism of the whole group. Everyone was invited to get in touch with some unresolved feeling or event from their childhood and step up and color a portion of the mirror in with an erasable marker. So as you think about this, you figure about 20 people, and here you have this mirror, and people go up and they color it in as they think about things. And then once they got started, some people went up 2 or 3 times and colored in some more. So you can imagine it took no time at all before you couldn't even tell it was a mirror. No clear reflective space left. No light moving through. So throughout the workshop, with as much compassionate support as a person might need to ask for, through processes that included the mind, the heart, and the soul, as individuals had aha moments and emotional breakthroughs, they would go up and wipe clean a portion of the mirror, allowing the light to shine through, showing the reflection of the new perspectives in the moment. This is an excellent model for the spiritual principle of doing whatever we need to do in order to be able to come to forgiveness and thusly move into appreciation and gratitude for everything. For you, this will mean being willing to ask what it will take. What do you need to clear emotional sludge and be able to express how you feel and who you truly are freely in the moment? So, reflecting back on the mundane, which is experiences that strike us as boring and uninspired, and the profane, experiences that we shun as feeling opposed to the sacred or the spiritual. Remember we said, what if we look within those feelings and ask, what would I need to do to find something to be grateful for here? So this is as true this week as it was last week. And it's important to realize that doing that is not about automatically turning to gratitude as an avoidance of feeling what is uncomfortable. When we find ourselves automatically deflecting something away from us or resisting that there could be anything about it that is like us. We need to have the courage to ask, what is it that I need to forgive? Especially if it feels like that can't be. If you find yourself saying, I'm not like that, or I just can't do that, I'm not suggesting anything like this should be navigated alone. If these areas of sludge in our lives were so simple, we'd have dealt with them a long time ago. But we really need to ask ourselves, what kind of support would I need? Because we actually can't skip owning and expressing how we feel about something authentically. We can try to skip it, but it sends us down those dark, dank holes that we then find ourselves really needing to get greater help to get out of. So this brings us back to what we talked about throughout October, being willing to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Acknowledging that everything is holy does not mean disregarding or denying the human side of our experiences. There is a holistic balance in authentically living both ends of the creative spectrum. And so it all works together in the dance of creation, and where we don't understand it, we just have to trust the mystery and trust that which does know. So now I want to talk about a couple of types of circumstances that can result in the avoidance of emotions. These two kinds of situations can happen so fast and go so deep that we didn't even know they happened. And one of them is when something is actually happening in our lives in the moment. So often you don't have time to stop and say, how do I feel about that? If you have, a tornado approaching your house, you don't stand and stop and say, how do I feel about this? And the whole time, the impact of that huge energy, the shock of realizing, that your house might be getting to get wiped out, it's making impressions on your system the whole time. It becomes something that needs to be actually held and loved and honored and, asking those questions. But in the moment, it goes so deep, we don't even realize how we felt when it happened. So that's one thing. So I'm saying that because then if you turn within and you say, what do I have to forgive? If automatically from your conscious self, it feels like, well, I don't have anything to forgive. It happened, but it's gone now and I'm done. Maybe not. Maybe realize that they can go so deep that you actually don't consciously remember how you felt in the moment until you can take a little time and check into it a little bit more. And the other thing, very often we will sidestep the emotional field if it involves somebody that is so important to us or that we love so much or we need so much that there is a serious concern that, hey, if I present authentically right now and I say I'm so mad at you or I'm so afraid of you, that it's going to disintegrate the relationship. For a child or oftentimes for people who are married, whose lives are caught up with each other, we can't imagine upsetting somebody so much that it might break the relationship. And so we don't go there. So when you're reflecting on these things and you find something challenging in your day, just remember, maybe ask more than once and give yourself the benefit of the doubt. Is there something to be worked with here? Is there something to forgive? And so I have just a couple of examples in my life that actually happened this week that demonstrate how clearing the emotional field can result in physical restoration. It was just fantastic, actually, how Spirit brought this about. And both of them are still somewhat works in process. But I have a place on my big toe on my right foot that has been hurting me actually since I did graduation in June. When I was at graduation, y'all might have noticed I was walking particularly slowly up that aisle. And the reason is that my toe was really hurting. And so since that time, I have not known what to do about this place. It's a hardened place, and when I step, it's painful. And this week, Kelly Riska came she came to my house for something totally different, and she is a very gifted woman. And she was going to leave, and I said, no, no, let me catch you, Kelly. And I showed it to her, and she said, it looks like there's some infection there. And I said, really? I never thought about that. And sure enough, treating that spot as if it has some internal infection has brought me to the place, clearing that emotional sludge, that I have been able to work on healing that. And then the other one, we are doing some drain work in our kitchen, and we got this stuff to help clear our drain. And I'm not normally sensitive to smells and stuff, but the very first time I used that, I was like, ugh, there's something about this. I just can't stand this stuff. And it really doesn't have a very strong smell. But Vernon said, well, what's wrong? And I said, it smells like rancid cement. And he said, rancid cement? I didn't know cement could get rancid. I said, I don't know, but that's what it is. It's rancid cement. And sitting with that, I suddenly realized, I went through 5 orthopedic surgeries as a child, and that goo smells like what they used to use to make plaster casts. And it immediately came up as something held in my body. And I realized now, when I was young and having those casts put on, I'm 5, 6, 7, 9 years old. I'm not going to say to those people, get that away from me. It smells awful and I don't want this to be happening to me. I had no idea that there's something to be forgiven there. And now I know. So, Vernon, if you could go to the next slide, please. It is an absolute delight for me to be able to introduce you to this. This is out of a book that was written by a practitioner named Joanne Martin. She's a dear friend of ours, and we actually helped her publish this book all about the power of forgiveness. And what she came up with here is she began to realize that the dynamic of forgiveness as it works through our systems is very much like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but in a different kind of way. So the pyramid on your left is, what I'm releasing in the process of forgiveness, and going from the bottom up, we move through all those levels and layers. And as we continue in forgiveness, then we release the challenge, and then the pyramid on the right shows from the bottom up what we're gaining as we go along. And what is so awesome is that, so the pyramid on the left is like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and the pyramid on the right, what do you guys see in that pyramid on the right, and the structure of it with the lines in the middle? And I know you're all on mute, but I absolutely have total faith that you guys have seen that V before. And so in wrapping this up, I want to share just a little bit of what Joanne wrote, and then I want to give you guys a couple of prayers. We all need a prayer, and so I am going to wrap this up with a couple of prayers to remind you of that you can use every day. Joanne said, the consciousness of experiencing forgiveness occurred for her with psychotherapeutic support. And she went to resolve issues in her life that went all the way back to having not been allowed to acknowledge when her grandfather died when she was 8 years old. He was the most important person in her life, and she was not permitted to go to his services. And it was something she never forgave. And that pain drove her to this research and writing this book. She says, holding on to anger and bitter grudges perpetuates misery, mistrust, and hatred. Practicing forgiveness opens the way for a peaceful and happy life, leading to healing and wholeness. Learning forgiveness has engendered compassion and peace that passes understanding. Nothing human is foreign to me, and that is true of all of us. Because I am human, I can relate with a heart of compassion to any human behavior. I choose forgiveness in all circumstances of betrayal, disappointment, false accusations, and other painful experiences, and come out a winner every time. I choose to keep moving forward and being in the now. Being here now prohibits looking back, wallowing in past experiences, done and gone. Here now is a great place to be, and it begins with making that choice. Make appreciating good fortune and what is right in your life more important than complaining about bad fortune and the undesirable events that happen. Choose joy, peace, and beauty, and think on these expressions until it becomes a part of you. Focus on what there is in your life to be grateful for. Arise from ignorance, hostility, and wretchedness born of hatred and fear. All of these states can be uplifted by understanding, whereby one can learn to suffer less and forgive and heal. Exercise your God-given power. Do not give anyone power over the way you feel. Blaming gives away your power. Be accountable. The fulfillment of all that we need and desire is generated from within. Society encourages dependence on preachers, physicians, politicians, prophets, and others. Be accountable to yourself. Operate from the power within you. Therein lies the power to forgive. So this week, my encouragement is that as you engage all of this in your days of forgiveness, grief, and thanksgiving, all of them are going on as practices to work with one day at a time. With each opportunity, it's an ongoing process. And as you practice keeping your soul prism clear of sludge, actively declare what you are grateful for. As everything gets clear, move in the quality of appreciation that you're preferring instead. So, as Reverend Michael Gott's song said, we all need a prayer. And it's my intention to leave you this week with a reminder of a most heartfelt and effective prayer for forgiveness. And this is called the Ho'oponopono. It's the Polynesian prayer that, again, most of you are aware of, but I just really want to remind you. And there is a fabulous recording of the Ho'oponopono that a woman named Sandra Rollis does on YouTube, and I'm going to make sure that the link to that goes into the update this week. And then the other thing, for times when we have done every process we can think of and we're still just having a human experience, is to remember the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And on that note, this is the foundation of our closing treatment. As I recognize that the fullness of the power of spirit has been every breath in this virtual space, every thought, every feeling, and every belief is an expression of divine spirit right here and right now. And I know that as of this moment, the prisms that we are that much clearer. The prisms that we are that much more available to the actual aligned spirit in mind, heart, and soul, that we are light, life, love, power, peace, beauty, and joy. And with great thanksgiving, I release it, I let it be, and so it is.
Thank you, Vicky, for such a powerful message and lots of takeaways. Thank you so much. Now as we move into our prosperity, I just want to thank you for sharing your time, talents, prosperity with our Louisville Center for Spiritual Living. Your support keeps our center growing and thriving as a spiritual community. Please see the ways to give by good old snail mail or online, which are listed in the chat. And I'm going to say this beautiful prosperity affirmation first, and then let's say it all together on the count of 3. The heart that gives gathers. Tao Te Ching. And 1, 2, 3 together. The heart that gives gathers. And I pass to you, Vicky, for blessing of the gifts.
And knowing, as is eternally the case when we speak our word, that it is already done. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Tammy, for the blessing of your voice that so purely carries our intention as community, so that I know that that intention is fully fulfilled. As we give, so do we receive, and it is an ongoing flow and process. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit, for all of this and more. Amen.
And now for today's announcements. And this Monday, that'll be tomorrow, November 27th. Wow, we're already at the end of November. At 5 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is going to be on the same Zoom link. Everyone is welcome to join if you'd like. And Vicky, would you like to talk about Giving Tuesday?
At this point, it's fairly, put together and done. Tomorrow is not tomorrow, but this coming Tuesday is the designated day that's Giving Tuesday. And it's just a way to recognize that there is support for altruistic missions in the world. It's a day that everyone has in mind to give to those things that would not be able to do what they do without that giving, of which, of course, Louisville Center for Spiritual Living is one. And we so appreciate all of your gifts, energetic and informed. And so just know that as Tuesday comes, the whole idea of having the abundance that is necessary to transform our world is available to all the transformers.
And this next Saturday, December 2nd, will be for the first Saturday visioning that Vicky does for us. And that's at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's around 45 minutes long. And then it's not on Zoom, it's on this Telebridge number here. And I know, Vicky, I think you usually send that out, a link out to remind us anyway. And that if you've not done a visioning, I just really invite you to come and do that. It's just a beautiful way to bring a question or something in your life that you would like to transform or bring forward. And if you have done a visioning, you know how powerful it is. So we just invite anybody to come if you can. And next week, I'm delighted to announce that Katrina Darrow, our wonderful practitioner, is going to be our speaker. So that's next Sunday, December 3rd. And she's going to speak on wholeness, the gift of the present. And we're going to have the first Wednesday spiritual connection. So that's the first Wednesday is December 6th. That's from 7 to 9, also Eastern Standard Time. And those of us who were in the class that we just completed, Essential Ernest Holmes, we are going to present some of our projects that we did for our final project. Very powerful. And anyway, I was in that class, so I experienced all of these. So we're going to have Joan and Elizabeth and Katrina and Kelly and myself and Maruk, I believe. All of us are going to present what our final project was. And I just want to say, wow, that would be the word to say. If you come and experience this, you're just going to say, wow. So please come, be inspired, be blessed, and join us. And we're going to have a December holiday movie night. Yay! I always appreciate Vicky and Vernon. Y'all put this together for us. And so it's in a work in progress. So stay tuned for which movie it's going to be. And Vicky,
And-
it's usually like a Friday night, is that right?
Yeah, we're going to pick a Friday. The reason why we don't have the specific details, we have been working on it, but we always want to make sure we actually get the movie. And this time we had a little challenge actually getting a movie on DVD, and we finally found one that we've been looking for that we've wanted. But it's not here yet. And so Vernon likes to test and make sure, because we don't want to tell people that something's happening and then not have it work. As soon as we actually know we have the movie and it's going to work, we will pick a Friday evening and let everybody know.
Well, that will be awesome. And then there's going to be the power of the pivots, the 4 pivots. You can see the book there is easy to get on Amazon. I just ordered mine recently. And this is going to be no fee to attend a workshop. And Vicky, is that right? It's with the writer, the author of the book,
So
Mr. Enright?
what's true about that, Sean Ginwright is giving like our lectures intermittently. He will not be actually on this class. This class is being facilitated by 4 of our national leadership. There will be 4 people that each take a week, and then there's a 5th week that's a wrap up. And then sometime in there, there's opportunities to connect with Sean Ginwright. And the thing to realize is that, like when we did this in October, they offered it for practitioners and ministers. There were 80 people in that group. And so if you have ever longed for actually dropping in and being a part of truly our larger organization and really getting down to talking about it, this is an opportunity here that is just a once in a lifetime phenomenal.
Yeah, so please join us. I'm gonna sign up for that. So I hope you join us.
And I should say, I'm so glad, my apologies. The way that you do that, there is a link, and actually Vernon has put the link for this in the chat. If you can click on it while we're here, that's good. If you can't, let me know and I'll make sure and send you the link. It's interesting because it takes you to the CSL National Store and it feels like you're going to be buying something, but you walk through this whole process and there's no fee at the bottom. It's kind of strange the way they have the registration, but just let me know and we'll help to make sure. They have to get you registered because they want your email so they can send you things during the class along the way. Go ahead.
Thank you, Vicky. That sounds like a powerful class. And if you'll please stay afterwards for sharing time after the benediction. Just want to hear how you're doing, or if anybody has any questions, and so please join us afterwards. And if you'll say on the count of 3 to yourself and to each other, 1, 2, 3, you are magnificent. And now for our closing song. Oh my gosh, I love Karen Drucker. She's going to sing about gratitude.
So on the statement, I think of my father and I see his face, all I feel is gratitude. So I give this song to him. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I say, Daddy, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I feel so grateful. Every day I say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Goes like this now. Gratitude before me, behind. Gratitude behind me, to the left. Gratitude to the left of me, to the right. Gratitude to the right. above me, gratitude above me, below me, gratitude below me, within me, gratitude within, all around me, gratitude all around. I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful to yourself. I'm so grateful to the people in your life. I'm so grateful. And you just let it all go. I'm so grateful, yes. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to yourself. I'm so grateful. If you want to stand up, you can, or sit down, whatever you want to do. Gratitude before me, behind. Gratitude behind me, to the left. Gratitude to the left of me, to the right. Gratitude to the right of me, above me. Gratitude above me, below me. Gratitude below me, within me. Gratitude within, all around me. I saw someone do this the first service, all around me. And I'm so grateful. Open up to all you're grateful for, to yourself. And I'm so grateful. Let it go. I'm so grateful. Yes, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Put your hands over your heart. Just put your hands over your heart for a second. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Just scan your life. Think about all that you're grateful for. See the faces of God in your life that are represented by kids or family members, people you work with, people in this church. Breathe it in. Let's sing it one more time. Gratitude before me, behind. Gratitude behind. All that was behind me, to the left. Gratitude to the left of me, to the right. Gratitude to the right of me, above me. Gratitude above me, below me. Gratitude below me, within me. Gratitude within, all around me. Gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 So you know, Meister Eckhart said, if the only prayer you say every day is thank you, that's enough. So start your day just saying, I'm so grateful. I am so grateful. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for this church. Grateful. I'm so grateful. Sing this with me. Just go. I'm so grateful. Yeah. I'm so grateful. Look around a little bit. I'm so grateful. Look around at these people and just go. I'm so grateful. This is your community here. I'm so grateful. Yes. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, grateful, grateful. I'm so grateful, grateful, grateful. I'm so grateful, grateful. And I'm so grateful, grateful, grateful. I'm so grateful. Oh yes, I'm so grateful. Oh yes, I'm so grateful. Oh yes, I'm so, every single day I'm gonna say, I say just grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Topping that off gently with our benediction. Infinite presence, I give thanks for divine spirit in us all, affirming that we each find our unique way to give and receive, serve and love. I know that the divine takes pleasure in our inspired living, our intuitive actions, and the sound of our voices uplifted in joy. Thank you, God. Amen.